All right, so today we've got another new item from Taco Bell to sample and review, give you a few thoughts on. And after I talk about that, I might just let the video roll and ramble because I just had quite a time just trying to go to a couple stores and it's got me all flustered and everything. But let's get right on to the main topic. I'm going to try to give you a nice view, nice reveal of this new item. This is the Chipotle chicken flatbread, which is kind of an interesting change from what Taco Bell, their normal fare. It's in this kind of like thick, like cube type box. Okay, and so you open it up and it's got this parchment paper over the top of it, which is interesting. I'm not sure if I've ever seen the likes of that at Taco Bell. And then inside here, hopefully that'll be nice and centered and a good view for you. It's kind of a, almost reminds me of like an avocado shape. This little guy here, we could just take it right out. And that's sitting on top of another little piece of parchment paper, so that's kind of interesting. When I worked at Taco Bell, I'm not sure if we even had this type of paper, so that might be a new kind of, little item that they've had to introduce as far as the packaging, but I don't know, don't quote me on that. Anyways, it's like an oblong shaped piece of flatbread, and it's got their normal chicken. It looks like it has two different types of crispy strips on the top. One is this red, and then it's got these kind of orange ones. It's got diced onions and then 3 cheese blend, as far as I can tell looking at it. But this is, the normal flatbread they have is like a small circular shape. So this is a different flatbread than they traditionally use, because the chalupa, as you know, or maybe not know, is a fried flatbread, and then the cheesy gordita crunch is the regular flatbread with the hard taco shell inside of it. And I believe that's correct. Let me know in the comments if that's incorrect. Please feel free to correct me. Anyways, sorry if I'm rambling. Let's just go ahead and try to eat this. I'm not even sure how you're supposed to eat this. I'm assuming you kind of like fold it up like this is what I'm going to go for. Maybe try to disperse the filling so it's like nice and even. Maybe if you're more polite and well-cultured, you would take this out and put it on a plate and eat it with like a knife and fork, but that just seems like too much effort right now. So anyways. All right, the ingredients are kind of coming up from the way I folded it. And it looks like there's also a small pump of the nacho cheese down there at the bottom as well. Honestly, my first impression is it's very dry. All you get is just dryness from the flatbread. And it needs something to moisten up all that dryness. Apologize if you hate the word moist. I know I've heard some people don't like that, but I can't think of any better words right now. Anyways, it's just very dry. So much so I'm going to have to go ahead and crack the monster. I don't know. Let me get a second impression. Okay, once you get down to a nice bite with all the filling in it, the chicken with the kind of richness of the cheese all wrapped all wrapped around it. A little bit of the tang from the onions, and then a nice crunch from those tortilla strips. All the flavors do combine well. I do like all the flavors going on inside of it. It's just if you don't get a lot of the filling and you get mainly flatbread, it's going to taste super dry. Yeah, that's nice though. I'm getting more of the cheese than I feel like I get from a lot of their other items. It's got a lot of really cheesy goodness going on in there. But I feel like I've got like one more bite of the meat, the filling inside, and then it's just going to be another super bready end bite. But that's when you pull out your salsa and kind of jazz it up. Overall, though, I'm like pleased with this. I feel like it's a nice combination of flavors based on, you know, the different items that they have on the line in Taco Bell. And I feel like before they just had red tortilla strips, and that's what's in like the beefy crunch and whatever stuff. But this had red and orange, so I don't know if they just changed their tortilla blend or if that's something kind of new they've introduced. And this flatbread is definitely a different shape than I've ever seen. So I feel like this is a new item that they brought into the mix specifically for this flatbread menu item, which is interesting. And that's kind of a bizarre thing that I feel like, because the way I feel like it works at Taco Bell is they have like a stock set of items, the chicken, the steak, the beans, onions, and then when they come out with the new item, they'll just combine them, the items that they already have on the line, they'll combine them in different ways to make a new item. Hopefully that makes sense the way I'm describing that. But I feel like for this, I've never seen this flatbread before, so I feel like this is a new thing they introduced, and I feel like that's kind of odd to me that they would, if they're gonna bring a new item onto the line, that it would be like an oddly shaped flatbread, because I'm not sure like what else they can really do with this if they want to keep that in their repertoire and try to make other new items with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure about the choice to like introduce this as a new item as far as other limited time things that they can use it for. But overall, like I feel like this flatbread isn't bad. It's a solid limited time thing as far as the limited stuff that you will see popping up at Taco Bell. And I think, honestly, just hit me, I feel like every time I've been to Taco Bell recently, they have a little sign saying that they've sold out completely of the Mexican pizzas. So I think maybe what they were trying to do with this was introduce something similar to the Mexican pizza, since those, like, everyone went crazy for them and they went so viral and blew up the internet, and like every Taco Bell location was selling out completely of them. So I think what they were doing with this is trying to introduce something similar to the Mexican pizza that they think a lot of people will come and buy, which makes sense from a marketing standpoint for sure. But like I said, I don't know what else they're going to do with this flatbread. I guess they're hoping that this will be as big as the Mexican pizza and they'll be able to sell a bunch of these instead. But I don't know. I don't know that people are necessarily going to Taco Bell to buy a flatbread. This feels more like something you would get from like Panera or like it's one of those kind of like fancy smancy fresh like chain type places, whatever. But overall, I'd say this is solid. I'm not hating it by any means. I don't know that it's necessarily something that I would get again. You know, I don't know if I would make it one of my regular items over the stuff they already have on the menu, though. But overall, I'd say this is a solid I'd say solid B. It's nothing like super crazy that I want to go any higher than that, but like it's solid. You know, if you want to try something new at Taco Bell, go for it. You know what I mean? It's I don't think it's gonna offend you, unless you like hate onions or something. You know, then you might want to try to just get it without onions. You know, but I feel like this is it's fine. You know what I mean? It's got some good cheesiness going on. You know. All right, so that's the review portion of the video. Like I said, I think I'm just gonna let the video roll and eat the other items I got and just kind of talk and ramble. If you're into that type of content, if you just wanted to see the review, then thanks for watching up to here. Appreciate you, you know. Like and comment and subscribe and all those YouTuber things. Even though I just want to do this for fun. I don't want to consider myself like a YouTuber, but I feel like you still got to say that, you know, if you want to. I'm just interested to see how many like views I can get if I post a video, you know what I mean? Or how many people. I'm just interested to see how far I can take it, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily want to be like a YouTuber, but I feel like if you're going to make YouTube videos and want to see how far you can take it, then you have to say all that stuff, you know? It's just like part of the deal. But yeah, it kind of tickles me, you know, if I like post a video and it like randomly starts getting views. One of the videos I did got like up to 300 views, and I know that's nothing compared to a lot of people, but it's still crazy to me that many people would click on something that I just like randomly made in my house at night, you know? But I don't want to have that mentality of like, oh, I'm gonna try to like be a career like YouTube creator. I feel like all that stuff's like corny to me. I hate the term like YouTuber and like content creator, because it just seems like such a kind of contrived like BS thing. And I feel like if you're an adult, you should like, it's almost like a juvenile thing to aspire to, I guess. And obviously a lot of people make a lot of money doing it, but I feel like it's something that like, if you start a YouTube channel and it just like happens to do well, then it's something that just kind of like falls into your lap by chance. I feel like it's like, I want to try to have a more mature mentality and be like, okay, I'm going to try to find a better job. I'm going to try to, you know, have a worthwhile career path that I find fulfilling. I'm going to try to like pursue artistic pursuits in whatever that I find fulfilling, and do that just for the sake of being creative and because I feel passionate about those things. So I want to have that approach to making YouTube videos, I guess. I feel like I'm like rambling talking about this, but I just want to clarify that I'm trying to have that mentality of just doing this for myself as like a creative outlet, and I want to try to protect myself from aspiring to be like a successful YouTuber, because I feel like, you know, there's obviously people that get rich doing that, but I feel like there's like a lot of negativity and toxic comments and a lot of like hate, and like it's really stressful. And being in the public eye, like this day and age, you're obviously going to have like some sort of scandal at some point, and people are going to just talk all this crap about you. So I want to just do it for me, just to do it. And I don't want to care if videos are getting views or like likes or dislikes. I just want to put stuff out there, and if anybody wants to watch it and can benefit from it, then that's great. You know, I want to make videos, put them out there publicly, just in case anyone enjoys it or can get anything from it, you know. But I don't want to put too much pressure on it, or like aspire to be like a really successful YouTuber. I just want to do it for me, you know. And I feel like that's like the best and healthiest mentality to have towards it, because then regardless of if you get a lot of subscribers and views and all that, it'll be fulfilling just because you're doing what you want to do. You know, you'll feel like it's productive just to make a video and put it out. You know, if you try to put out so many videos a week or this or that, then it'll feel satisfying and rewarding just when you get it done, because you're just doing it because it's something you want to do. And I feel like a lot of times people get discouraged or disappointed if they feel like their videos aren't getting views or this or that. But I just kind of want to do it like as an artistic thing, you know? I just want to view like the things I do as like an artistic pursuit, and like have different creative outlets, because I feel like that's stimulating and it's fulfilling to feel like you've created something, you know? So I want to do it solely for the purpose of like making something creative. Anyways, I feel like I've rambled about this for a long time. I might end up like cutting off the video where I stop talking about the flatbread and not even post all of this, but I might just post the whole unedited thing. I don't know. I'm just letting the camera roll and talking. So this, I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what else I ordered. I got the receipt right here. Oh, this is the chicken chip burrito, $2. And then this other one should be the spicy potato soft taco. Oh yeah. So that's got chicken and chips. Oh yeah, I've definitely had this before, and I like this one. But yeah, I definitely want to go ahead and rant about everything that just happened. So I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, I'm kind of just trying to chill at the house, watch TV, whatever, take it easy for a little while, maybe go out and skate or do whatever else later on. But I was like, oh, I'm feeling kind of tired. I would kind of like to drink an energy drink today to start off the day. That'd be cool. So I left the house just intending to go to the store and get an energy drink. And then as I was driving, I was like, oh, hey, I could go ahead and go to Taco Bell, you know? I feel like I've been trying to eat a little better this week and was trying not to, like, spend money on frivolous things. So I was like, okay, might as well treat myself, go to Taco Bell. So I go to Taco Bell, just kind of on a whim, and start thinking, oh, I could do a little video, you know, reviewing the new item. I've been meaning to do that, whatever new they have. So I get to Taco Bell, walk up to the door, and they have a sign on the door saying delivery and DoorDash or whatever only inside. All other orders must go to the drive-thru. And I'm like, really? What the heck? Why can I not come inside and order on the little screen touch kiosk like I always do? I just don't like going through the drive-thru in general because it just gives me anxiety. Like, a lot of times I want to look at the menu and, like, be picky and take a minute to, like, decide everything I want. And I feel like half the time you go through the drive-thru, you have some, like, angsty teen that doesn't want to be there at all, and they're just like, oh, can I help you? And then if you're like, yeah, give me a minute, they're just like, oh, are you ready? And they don't say it in those words, but you can tell from their tone of voice that they're like annoyed if you like take a while to order. And you know, a lot of people that doesn't bother them and they don't care, but for me and my personality, it just like makes me feel like flustered and anxious and everything. So it's just like, it's just so much easier for me to be able to go in and like take as long as I want to like sit there and tap stuff and scroll through the little screen. Excuse me. I was really pleased when they introduced the little touch screens inside at most of the Taco Bell locations. And it's just, I don't know, like, it's not a huge deal, but it's just like a lot of times it like makes me feel flustered having to go through the drive-thru. So that bothered me, but the lady at the drive-thru was cool and seemed nice, so shout outs to her. So that wasn't like a huge thing. But then I go to 7-Eleven to try to get the Monster, And at 7-Eleven, they have a sign on the door that says, "Our systems are currently down. We cannot serve anyone at this time," and the doors are locked. And I'm like, really? At Taco Bell, they can't serve people inside? And I understand that. Like, I think a lot of places are still short-staffed and so on and so forth. But at 7-Eleven, they're saying their system's down and they just can't let anyone in the store at like 2 o'clock on Sunday? Like, that's ridiculous. If your system's down, call the IT guy. Like, freaking, there's got to be some sort of backup protocol in place. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before, that you try to go into a convenience store and they just have the doors locked and a sign saying, our computers are down, we can't sell anything. Like that, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. So at that point, I was like, this is just ridiculous. And then, as I'm driving away, I see both the employees walking out from behind the store with a pack of cigarettes in their hand. And I'm like, well, is the system really down? Or did you guys both just feel like taking a break at the same time? So you just put that sign up and are just lying so that you can both go on break for as long as you want. And then when you finally decide you want to go back to work, you're just going to take the sign down and turn everything back on, Is that even legitimate, or is it just a lie from two lazy, trashy employees, And I'm not trying to accuse them of that, but that could be the case, This day and age, I wouldn't be at all surprised. So that frustrated me, and by this point, I had left the house just intending to go to the store and get an energy drink. So I was like really thirsty for water. So I was like, dang, I don't really want to drive anywhere else. CVS was right across from the 7-Eleven. So I was like, okay, I know that CVS usually has water and energy drink, so I can go in there and get a water and energy drink. And I just didn't want to go anywhere further. So I was like, okay, I'm just going right into CVS because it's right here. So I go into CVS, and I wanted to get the blue low-carb Monster, but they didn't have that, so I got regular. And so that was kind of annoying. And then while I was in there, I was like, oh, I also need to get some body wash and some hand sanitizer, some other things. And I was like, that's actually convenient that I ended up at the CVS because I can get all of that stuff right here rather than having to go back out to Target or wherever else later on today. So I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool that I ended up here. I can get all the other stuff I need today, and that'll be cool. And so I go up at CVS, and there's like a line starting to form, and the cashier's like, if anyone has a card, they can go to the self-checkout. So I go to the self-checkout, and I like scan everything, and then I scan the big bottle of hand sanitizer last, and it says it's like $12 and some change. And I was just like, I frequently buy hand sanitizer at like Target or Walmart, and I don't think it's ever cost $12. So the cashier's like helping some other people, and I'm trying to figure out how to just void the hand sanitizer and put it to the side, and I can't do it. And so I hit like need help on the screen, and then when the cashier finishes with the people she's talking to, I like motion her over, and she doesn't know how to void the item on the self-checkout. So she tells me to get like the bags with all the stuff in it and bring it to the normal checkout. And I'm like, well, can you scan the hand sanitizer just to see how much it costs? Because that just seems like too high. I don't think it ever costs that much. And she scans it, and she's like, yeah, it's like $12.49 or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'll just like put that back. And so, finally she just scans all the items, and I buy everything else and just don't get that. But that, like, it wasn't a big deal, like, and the cashier was like cool about the whole thing. I don't think I came off as like rude or difficult to her, and she definitely seemed like she was trying to be nice and cool about the whole thing. So I appreciated that. But after all that happened, I just felt like really like anxious and flustered, and like for a lot of people, I feel like stuff like that doesn't faze them at all. But like my personality and like my mentality and everything, just stuff like that, it just like really throws me off and just like makes me feel really anxious, because like I guess I just don't want to feel like I'm being like difficult or causing problems, causing a scene in public. And like anytime, even anything that ultimately is relatively small like that, anytime stuff like that happens, it's just like, it just throws me off, and it just makes me all like anxious and weird. So I finally get home, and I'm just like feeling all flustered, and I'm like, dang, like I left the house just intending to go buy an energy drink, and I just had this whole like all this different stuff going on. It just ended up all crazy. So I don't know. I guess it does kind of feel good just to talk openly about it and rant for a minute. I feel like sometimes you just need to rant it out and get it all out, and then just try to move on to the next thing, you know. But let me know, because that hand sanitizer was bigger than the ones I normally buy, but I don't think I've ever paid $12 for a bottle of hand sanitizer. And maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just like being however, and I just don't pay enough attention to the prices, but that just seemed like outrageous to me. And I think a big part of it too was there's been multiple times recently where I've known something was priced wrong, but I just like didn't care. I was at Target one day and I was buying bananas, and it was, they were supposed to like weigh it, but I think the weigher was broken, and so she just hit like 10 pounds or something, and it ended up being like $5 for like a bunch of bananas. And it obviously didn't weigh that much, but I just didn't say anything because I didn't really care. I was like, that's only like a few extra dollars, it's not a lot of money, whatever. And then I went in Dick's last weekend, Dick's Sporting Goods, and I was buying like a helmet, and there was a little price tag on the helmet that said like, I think like $50 maybe, which seems expensive. I feel like pads should be something that are like fairly inexpensive so that people can buy them even if they don't have a lot of money to spend and use padding to protect themselves. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the type of thing that's like a safety necessity that should be accessible to like everyone, you know? But anyways, it had like a tiny little tag on it that said like $50, and then when he rang it up it said like 60. And I noticed it like as I was checking out, but I just didn't say anything because I was like, it's $10, like, someone might have put like a price tag from something else. The price tag that was on it looked like it wasn't like written on the box or anything. It was just like a small little tag. So I just like was like, whatever, I don't really care. I don't care to like sit here and discuss it with him. So multiple times recently I've known that I like overpaid for something, but I didn't care. And so when I saw that was $12, I was like, that seems like way too much. Like, I'm tired of just like, not standing up for myself or saying anything. Like, I'm gonna, even if I'm at the self-checkout and I have to wait for the lady to come over, I'm gonna like make sure that price is correct. You know what I mean? I was just like, I'm not gonna overpay for stuff unnecessarily just because I don't feel like dealing with it. You know what I mean? So I felt like that was good, but then I guess maybe I was kind of embarrassed because, when she rang it up at the normal cash register, that was the actual price. And so maybe I don't know, I guess maybe I felt like a little embarrassed and dumb that I was finally trying to like make sure everything was legit and speak up for myself, and then I ended up like being wrong and like kind of looking dumb that I like just wasn't even paying attention to the price. So I guess maybe that gets to the root of why it like bothers me or whatever. I guess maybe I just was feeling a little embarrassed by the situation. But ultimately I feel like you need to realize like for that cashier, that's just like one minor thing and like a full day of having to deal with different people coming up to the register. You know what I mean? And she probably like won't even like remember that when she goes home tonight. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not a big deal. Like no one else like cares or is dwelling on it. You know what I mean? It's just in your mind that you choose to dwell on it because of issues with anxiety or insecurity or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But you have to realize that ultimately, like, no one else is dwelling on that. No one else like cares. No one else is really even like paying attention to you like that. You know? So this video, I'm probably at like almost half an hour of this video so far. It's gonna take forever to upload. But I don't know. I feel like maybe like that story time. I don't know. Maybe it'll be appealing to someone. Maybe people that deal with the same type of issues. Like it'll be encouraging knowing that there's other people out there going through the same stuff. And that's what I'm talking about. That's why I want to like make videos and put them out there publicly, so that like if there's anyone out there that's like feeling alone in their situation, maybe they can relate to me being like a loner and a weirdo and like having anxiety issues and all that type of mental craziness, you know what I mean? I just want to like put myself out there so that if there's other people out there that happen to stumble upon one of my videos and like feel like they can relate to me and not feel so alone, that's like, I feel like that's a really positive thing. And that might never happen, but I feel like it's like worth putting myself out there in case there's someone else that can benefit from like seeing me in my life, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's like a really like, I don't know. I just want to like try to put put myself out there in case anyone can like benefit from like me in my life, Yeah, and I watched this movie last night, and there was this really good moment that really kind of resonated with me. The character was talking to their friend, and they were like, "You are a weirdo, but that's fine. You're also like a cool and interesting person, and you just have to be willing to put yourself out there so that you can meet like other weird people that you'll like click and connect with, And they said like, don't you want to see like what you're like if you like go and try living in another place or doing new things, Don't you want to like see what that's like to be yourself in a different situation or whatever? That just really resonated with me. Like, you are a weirdo, but like you're still a cool and interesting person, And there's other weirdos that you can relate to and like, enjoy being around, Because I feel like a lot of times people that kind of like have a different sense of style, different tastes in music or TV or books or whatever else, People that feel like they know they're kind of going against the grain as far as what's popular in society and everything. They kind of isolate themselves and become loners and feel like everything around me is boring, everyone sucks, this and that. But you have to realize that there's other people out there that like the same bands and have similar tastes and so on and so forth. You just have to be willing to go out, try to take proactive steps to overcome your anxiety or insecurity or whatever's holding you back, and you have to try to meet people that have the same tastes and are similar to yourselves, or else you always are going to be a loner and on your own. But it's like just important to kind of try and understand that there are other people out there that like are going through the same stuff, that are into the same stuff that you are, have the same interests. And if you just put yourself out there and try to overcome the issues that are holding you back and like meet new people and have new experiences and so on and so forth, like you can still find fulfillment in relationships with other people and friendships and all that stuff. But you just have to make an effort to overcome what's holding you back and put yourself out there, Anyways, this is the spicy potato taco. And the classic full sugar Monster Energy. In the Fire Edition sauce packets. I think I'm just going to put the sauce straight on. A lot of times I like to drizzle the sauce bite by bite, but sometimes, you know, it's nice to just like put it all on there all at once. Alrighty. Okay. That creamy Chipotle ranch they have is... I like it. It's nice. It's got that strong Chipotle kick, but it's definitely got a real like creamy richness. But it doesn't taste overly ranchy, you know. It's nice. It's real nice. And I feel like a lot of the newer stuff, they're putting it on a lot of items these days. I feel like Taco Bell's out there collecting data and doing focus groups and stuff like that, and I feel like they know people like the Chipotle ranch. Okay, so that's a full meal at Taco Bell. Like I said, I don't know how I'm going to feel later on when I'm trying to get this on the computer and upload it. I might just cut out the review and then no one will even see this. Maybe I'll upload the review and this full uncut raw footage separately. Who knows? Anyways, if you watch this, thank you for watching, you know. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts on any of my rambling dialogue. But yeah, really appreciate anyone that took time to watch this. And yeah, I guess that's all.